single mom, raised me and 3 siblings. Education was the most important thing. My mother was raised on a farm, and her clothes were made out of gunny sack. I went to a private school. My mother worked 4 jobs. My brother worked in a plastic factory at night because our public schools were so bad and horrible things were happening. And it was so important to our family that we have an education. And then I come to public schools and I think it shouldn't be a private education. My students south of the 8 deserve what I went to at a prep school, what my nieces and nephews go to at the Modern Days of, San Diego. That's what my students deserve. That's what's going to even the playing field, and ultimately, that's what's going to stop the generational poverty that we're surrounded by here. That's my why, with tears. When we first started it seemed like it was another daunting task that was being placed on schools. So when we met and we formed our first wellness committee, the first thing we did is said, what do we already have going on? So we always look at the positive and how can we build from there. So when they came on board, and they're very much environmentalists and healthy eating, that gave us a nice, well-rounded team. It wasn't myself and the nurse sitting there. My psychologist joined because he knew that wellness also dealt with the social, emotional, and the mental health of our youth. And as we looked at our plan, we found out we had a lot of things in place with regards to the students during the school day, but we wanted to expand on it. So the first thing we looked at is, what else can we offer? And of course it becomes, we don't have budget to do that. But our teachers really stepped up. The nurse we had, she went to the training, and we met and we discussed, what does this look like? And there were so many good ideas between the 2 of us, and I said, we really need to pick and choose some things because we need buy-in. It has to be from the ground up. It can't be me telling people what to do. So we just did an open call for a wellness committee. I did a calendar invite, this is what we're here, come learn about it, and then we'll go from there. So we came together, we talked about it. We said, would you like to be on the committee? And a few said yes. So then we went back to the staff at a staff meeting and went over what the initiative was as a district and what we were looking to do. And we started gathering information from them. What do you think we have going on that's already positively impacting the students? And we started the list, and then we started calendaring some meetings, and we always started with the positive. What do we have? What's happening? Now, where do we have some holes in it?
Audra has her meetings set, and everybody discusses everything. I've seen such a tremendous teacher interaction and support with the wellness committee. Everybody works together as a team, and we just get it done. And also, we have incredible parent support and fundraisers, and every year there's more and more activities and things to do.
So when we came back the following year, we saw the things we had done around physical activity. And we started thinking, what about the other side? What about the social emotional side? And the counselor is doing a lot of push into the classroom for Tier 1 social emotional.
So all students in kindergarten were learning how to focus and kind of rule out all distractions. So today's one thing we're focusing on was the Tibetan singing bowl. So we talked about how in Indian Tibet they use this bowl to heal people, not just for physical healing, but to bring people peace and focus. So that's what we learned about today.
So this is our eagle's nest, and we put this together last year, the last 8 weeks of school, for students who Tier 1 and Tier 2 wasn't working for their self-regulation, where they needed to really be able to work to earn something that interests them. And we know they love video games, they love to be able to play. So we set up and dedicated a room. My ed specialist and science teacher and psychologist came in and painted it for us. And they've been gathering things from staff. So we have video games, we have basketball, we have dolls, we're setting up slime areas, Lego areas, and we've gotten furniture. I have a day bed being put together right now. We have a couple couches. And students can earn it twice a day if they're on a behavior contract and we're working towards self-regulation. And they know that I need to do these things to earn that. And it made a huge difference. Some of my high flyers last year completely turned them around. When they were earning something they wanted versus what adults thought they should get at the end of the day. And now this year our goal is to open it up for staff. So at the end of last year, as we were looking at what we had done, what we had accomplished, staff wellness came up. And we do the dance class on Friday was started off being offered to staff. I have a salsa dancer that's a teacher, so he teaches dance on Friday afternoons. And the teachers were doing it, now we have students and parents doing it. And then we looked at stress management, so we had VIBA come out and they can do 1-2 hour courses. So we did a survey, what do teachers want, we ranked them in importance and we started scheduling some classes for them. And when VIBA came out, they were surprised how many staff came out. Of 20 teachers, there was 14 teachers alone, which was a big turnout. And then we have a section of our lounge set up for a little social emotional de-stress zone with the adult coloring, the full bulletin board with adult coloring, and there's a basket of games, and we're doing gratitude and gratefulness before our staff meetings in PD, so a little bit of reflective. And then I am including my Friday flyer has always focused on relational and behavioral, and now it starts off with the emotional, both students as well as our own. So we're raising the awareness and looking at what the staff needs and building into it. We have a shout out board in the lounge where they can shout out for each other. When we do our staff meetings and our PDs, they send compliments to each other and thank each other for what they're doing. So we're really trying to build that supportiveness. When we came back, we're doing a superhero theme this year, so when we came back for our opening, one of the things that they did with their team, with their PLC, was they had to determine what their superhero ally is. And that was, what do you need to be successful? What do you need from other people for you to be successful? And they created a superhero ally. So now as they're working together and meeting, they know that maybe I need time to think before I respond to you. Maybe I need a chance to get this information first, or maybe I need someone just to listen as I vent because I'm really frustrated right now, and not to take it personally. So now they realize that they have to provide more than just lesson plans. They have to be a team and they have to be a family as they work through these things. So each staff member is a member of my family, and I need them to feel the way I want them to make my students feel. And I think that's why we work so well and we've done so much, is because we function as a family. And family is all about, how are you? So the best compliment I got this year is I had somebody come as a substitute. And at the end of the day, she came over and she said, every student that passed me high-fived me. Every staff member said hello, introduced themselves, and offered assistance. And she said, I've been on 12 different campuses, and this is the first time that I felt recognized and seen. And that's what I want from my kids, so that's what I provide for my staff and families. So last year we really worked to provide knowledge for the parents. My first years as principal was having them welcome here, and now we need to educate our parents, and they were ready for it last year. So we offered 12 parent classes through Motiva. We had UCSD out, we had healthy eating, healthy cooking. So every year the staff does a little bit, more and more and more. And right now we're servicing social, emotional, the mental health, as well as the physical. There's physical activity before school with the walking and the running club. It's also included some parents. A lot of the parents now are in charge of taking the tally marks and keeping track, so they're walking with the students. It raised awareness for the teachers that the students have to be active. We actually had some trainers come in and teach about movement in the classroom, so that it's not just before school or at recess or at lunch. What can you do in the classroom to keep them up and active? So it made the teachers more aware. And then what happens is the parents see the students moving, hear the teachers talking about movement, and now they know how much more important it is. And I think that's one of the reasons we had such a nice turnout for when the UCSD physicians came out, or when we do the Jump for Heart, they want to be more involved in it. It's like anything that we do, it rolls out over a series of years. So if you start with what you already have, sometimes it's just fine-tuning, or you have something that's not being offered to everybody, or not everybody's aware of it. So if you really start small and have those small successes and those small celebrations, you'll find more people willing to do more. Whether it's after-school clubs, we've gone from one after-school club to I have something for everybody from K through 5 and multiple opportunities. And I think that's where it really stems from, because it comes from the bottom up. It's not coming from me saying our students need it, it's the teacher saying our students need it, and how are we as a team going to provide it for them.
I'm just very impressed with this school and how things are going and the progress that, I mean, massive progress that and improvements that have been made at this school.
So we started small to go big, and it became bigger than I could have possibly have imagined it would be.